Welcome, friends. I hope you like today's story. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. You'll be truly blessed. The Blood Price. The mountain wind howled through the open archway of the chamber, carrying the scent of pine and iron. Lyra crouched in the shadows, her red and black wings folded tightly against her back like a shroud. The stone floor beneath her boots was cold, but the metallic cylinder in her hands burned, a relic older than the crumbling walls around her. The Key of Echoes. It demands a life, Lyra. Kale had warned her years ago. His voice is cracked as the murals of winged warriors that adorn the vault. Asterisk, but the memories it holds, they're worth the cost. Asterisk, she traced the key's engravings, a spiral of forgotten runes, and glanced at the blood pooling near her feet. Fresh, still warm. It wasn't hers. Not yet. The chamber had been a sanctuary once. Now, moss crept over its shattered mosaics, and the ceramic memory wells lining the walls stood empty, their stories silenced. Lyra's people, the Eternum, had built this place to safeguard humanity's brightest moments. Symphonies composed for starlight, equations that bent time, poems etched into atoms. But the world beyond the mountains cared little for poetry. They hungered for power, not wisdom. Guardians protect the past. Kale had told her when she was a child, his own wings, ebony streaked with silver, flaring like a storm cloud. But the past won't protect you. He'd proven that truth the day the raiders came. Lyra's throat tightened as she knelt beside the bloodstain, her green dress whispering against stone. She remembered Kale's last moments, his hand trembling as he pressed the key into hers, the invader's shouts echoing up the mountain pass. He'd used the relic to summon a memory, a thunderous chord from an Eternum war song that shattered the raiders' minds. But the key demanded balance. By dawn, Kale's heart had stopped. Sacrifice, Lyra thought bitterly, the Eternum's oldest tradition. She lifted the key, its weight familiar and cruel. Tonight, the ritual would repeat. Scouts from the technocratic enclaves had been spotted in the foothills, their armor glinting like beetle shells. They'd raise the vault for scraps of Eternum tech unless she stopped them, unless she paid the price. Her wings twitched as she pressed the key's jagged into her palm. The chamber's golden lamplight flickered, dancing across the ornate sonic cudgel propped against the wall, a weapon meant to defend, not to kill. Lyra inhaled sharply. Asterisk, why do we hide? Asterisk, she'd asked Kale once, after he'd healed a wounded fox with a melody from the wells. Because mercy is a language our enemies refuse to learn, he'd said. The key's edge bit into her skin. Before she could drive it deeper, a sound froze her, boots scraping stone. Lyra spun, wings flaring wide. A figure stood in the archway, silhouetted by the moonlit peaks. Not a raider. A woman in a scholar's gray coat, her face sharp as a blade. So the stories are true, the stranger said, stepping into the chamber. Her gaze lingered on Lyra's wings. Genetic aberrations. Fascinating. Lyra hissed, feathers bristling. This place isn't yours. Nor is it yours, bird. The woman gestured to the key. That belongs to the Iron Citadel now. We've decoded your ancestors' texts. We know what it can do. Lyra's pulse roared. The Citadel, a city that fed its war machines with stolen relics. She tightened her grip on the key. You know nothing. The scholar smirked. Don't I? The Key of Echoes doesn't just store memories. It weaponizes them. And you're going to show me how. A click. 3 armored soldiers stepped into the light, rifles raised. Lyra moved without thinking. She lunged for the sonic cudgel, her wings slamming shut to shield her back. A gunshot cracked. Heat seared her shoulder, but her fingers closed around the paddle's grip. Sing for us, Lyra. Kale's ghost seemed to whisper as she swung the cudgel. The relic hummed, its carvings glowing blue. A single note rang out, deep, resonant, alive, and the air rippled. The soldiers staggered, clutching their ears. The scholar fell to her knees, blood trickling from her nose. Stop, the woman screamed. You don't understand what you're. Lyra struck the cudgel against the floor. The note sharpened, shattering a ceramic well. Shards rained down as the chamber trembled. Too much. She'd learned that lesson as a child, when a lullaby had cracked a boulder in half. Sound could heal. Sound could destroy. The soldiers fled, dragging their leader with them. Lyra sagged against the wall, her wounded shoulder staining her dress crimson. The key still glinted in her hand, untouched, but the blood on the floor, it wasn't hers. Lyra limped to the archway, her wings dragging. Far below, torches snaked up the mountain path. Dozens. Hundreds. The citadel wasn't done. She looked at the key. To save the vault, she'd need to wield it. To repeat Kale's sacrifice. No. Her fingers brushed the memory wells. One remained intact, its surface swirling with faint light. The Eternum had filled these vessels with beauty, not violence. With hope, Lyra pressed the key to the well. "Show me another way," she whispered. The relic shuddered. A hologram flickered, an Eternum elder, his voice a melody. Asterisk, knowledge is a seed. It grows only in worthy hands. Asterisk, the well's light brightened, and Lyra's breath caught. The key hadn't activated, but the blood on the floor, it wasn't hers. The torches climbed higher. Lyra leaned against the vault's archway, her wings trembling under the weight of the mountain wind. Below, the citadel's soldiers advanced like ants, their armored suits glinting under the moon. She pressed a hand to her bandaged shoulder, the fabric sticky with blood. Not enough time. The key of echoes still hummed in her grip, its runes pulsing faintly, as if taunting her. "Show me another way," she whispered again to the memory well. But the hologram of the Eternum Elder had faded, leaving only silence. A boot scuffed stone behind her. Lyra spun, raising the sonic cudgel, but froze. Dr. Vera stood in the center of the chamber, flanked by 6 soldiers. The scholar's gray coat was pristine, her gloved hands clasped behind her back. A smile sharpened her features. "You're slower than I expected, Guardian." "You're crueler," Lyra spat. "This vault isn't a weapon." "Everything is a weapon," Vera said, stepping closer. Her gaze flicked to the key. "Even beauty." Before Lyra could react, a soldier lunged. She swung the cudgel, its hum building to a shriek, but Vera raised a device, and the relic's song died mid-note. Lyra stumbled, her wings flaring for balance. "A dampener," Vera said, tapping the emitter on her wrist. "Your ancestors' music is impressive, but predictable." Lyra backed toward the archway, the key pressed to her chest. "You'll destroy yourselves. The memories in this relic, they're not meant to be taken." Vera snorted. "Sentimental nonsense. The Citadel decoded your texts. We know the key's true function. It distills knowledge into pure energy. A single memory could power our cities for centuries. Or burn them to ash," Lyra said, her voice low. The Eternum didn't hide these relics out of fear. They hid them out of mercy. The scholar's smile twisted. "Mercy is a word the weak use to justify failure." She nodded to her soldiers. "Take the key. Alive, if possible." Lyra fought like a storm. Her wings battered soldiers into walls. The cudgel, though muted, cracked against helmets like a hammer. But the dampener leached its power, and her strength was waning. Blood soaked her dress anew. Vera watched, cool and detached, as her men fell. "Remarkable," she murmured. "A genetic relic, clinging to a dead world's ethics." Lyra hissed, slamming a soldier's head into a memory well. The ceramic shattered, releasing a burst of golden light, a chorus of children's laughter, centuries old. The sound made the invaders hesitate. "Pathetic," Vera said. "You waste relics on lullabies." Lyra lunged at her, but her rifle struck her temple. She crumpled, wings splayed across the blood-stained floor. The key clattered from her hand. Vera scooped it up, gloved fingers tracing its spirals. "Activation requires a life. Yes? A small price." She turned to the youngest soldier, a boy barely older than Lyra, his eyes wide beneath his visor. "No," Lyra choked. The scholar's blade flashed. The boy gasped, clutching his throat as he fell. His blood seeped into the key's grooves, and the relic ignited, casting the chamber in hellish red. A hologram erupted. Not the Eternum Elder, but a swirling storm of faces and voices. A symphony of screams. Warships burning. Cities dissolving into ash. A child skeleton curled around a rusted toy. Vera staggered, clutching her head. What is this? The truth, Lyra whispered. The key's AI voice boomed, layered with 1,000 tongues. Asterisk, the Eternum did not fall to invaders. They fell to their own hunger. You seek knowledge? Then know this. Wisdom without empathy is a plague. Asterisk, Vera screamed, clawing at her temples as the memories flooded her mind. Not equations or songs, but consequences. The Citadel's wars, amplified tenfold. Forests flattened for factories. Children conscripted. Her own face, aging in a reflection, until only hollow eyes remained. Make it stop, she shrieked, hurling the key. It struck the wall, cracking open like an egg. Smoke curled from its core. Lyra crawled toward it, her vision blurring. The AI's voice softened, now a single tone. Asterisk, you carry the blood price, but not the sin. Choose, Guardian, destroy us, or let us asterisk teach. Asterisk, the chamber shook. Soldiers fled, dragging their writhing leader. Lyra cradled the fractured key, its light dimming. I choose to listen, she breathed. The relic's final spark drifted to the last intact memory well. The ceramic vessel glowed, its surface swirling with colors. A melody rose, gentle, unyielding, as the well began to change. Vines sprouted from its base, curling across the floor. Flowers bloomed where blood had pooled. The key's crack sealed with gold, and the hologram of the elder reappeared, his voice clear. You cannot kill truth, he said, but you can reshape asterisk it. Asterisk, Lyra's wings trembled as she stood. Beyond the archway, the Citadel's torches recoiled from the chamber's newfound radiance. What did you do? Vera rasped from the corridor, her face gaunt. Lyra turned, the well's light haloing her battered wings. What you couldn't. I learned. The mountain's wrath echoed in Lyra's bones. She stumbled through the frozen pass, her wings dragging like broken sails. Blood crusted her dress, and the cold gnawed at her wound, but the memory well's light still pulsed in her arms, a fragile heartbeat. Behind her, the vault's archway glowed gold against the Citadel's retreating torches. They'll return, she thought, but not yet. The village appeared as a mirage. Flickering hearths nestled in the valley below. Surface dwellers, outsiders. Kale had forbidden contact, warning they'd fear her wings. But Kale was gone, and Lyra's strength bled out with every step. They found her at dawn. A child, tending goats, screamed at the sight of her crumpled in the snow. Soon, voices swarmed, gasps, prayers, the clatter of tools. Lyra stirred as calloused hands lifted her. Asterisk an angel asterisk, someone whispered. Asterisk a demon asterisk, hissed another. She woke in a clay-walled hut, the memory well humming beside her. A man with eyes like weathered bark leaned over, pressing a poultice to her shoulder. Don't move, he said. The wing's torn, but it'll heal. Lyra flinched. You know wings? Sheep mostly. His smile was a crack in stone. I'm Tarek. We've heard tales of your kind. Skykeepers, the elders called you. Asterisk Skykeepers starred. Lyra almost laughed. The Eternum had named themselves guardians, but they'd hidden while the world burned. Your tales are wrong. Tarek unwound her bandages. Stories bend. Doesn't make them lies. The villagers brought offerings, wool blankets, honeyed tea, a flute carved from eagle bone. They asked no questions, but their stares lingered on her wings, on the well's alien light. At night, children pressed ears to the hut's walls, listening as the relics sang fragments of Eternum hymns. They think you'll bless their crops, Tarek said, grinding herbs. And you? Lyra flexed her bandaged wing, wincing. What do you think? He nodded to the well. I think you carry a weight no one should. Lyra's throat tightened. She'd expected fear, greed, suspicion. Not this quiet solidarity. Not kindness. Days passed. Snowmelt trickled through the roof as Lyra rebuilt her strength. Tarek taught her to mend fences, to card wool, mundane acts that anchored her. In return, she showed him the well's memories, a star map etched in dance, a lullaby that soothed fevered lambs. Your people, they weren't warriors, Tarek said one evening, watching the hologram of an Eternum weaver spin moonlight into cloth. We chose not to be, Lyra said bitterly. And look where it led. Tarek stirred the fire. My grandfather said mercy leaves deeper scars than swords. Harder to ignore. Lyra's wings rustled. Your grandfather was a fool. Maybe. He tossed a twig into the flames. But his mercy saved my grandmother from slavers. She built this village. The well's light dimmed, and Lyra looked away. Dr. Vera found her in the lambing fields. Lyra was hauling water when a scream ripped through the valley, a raw, animal sound. She dropped the bucket, sprinting toward the tree line. Vera crouched in the mud, her gray coat frayed, hair matted with filth. The key's corruption had eaten into her, veins blackened, eyes bloodshot. She clutched a shard of the relic, its edges slicing her palm. Asterisk, make it stop, asterisk, she wailed, lunging at Lyra. The voice is there inside me. Lyra pinned her, wings flared. The shard glinted, its once vibrant runes now necrotic. You shouldn't have taken it, she said. Vera laughed, a broken sound. You think I had a choice? The Citadel commands. I obey. Spittle flecked her lips. But the key, it show me things. My father's factories. The children, the mines. My face in the glass. Lyra recoiled. The scholar's mind was a shattered mirror, each shard a memory of guilt. Kill me, Vera begged. Before I show them, before I tell them about the well. Lyra froze. The villagers were coming, Tarek at the front with a shearing knife. Mercy is a language our enemies refuse to learn. But Vera was no enemy now, just a broken woman drowning in truth. Lyra snatched the shard. Run. Vera scrambled backward. They'll find you. They'll. Asterisk run. Asterisk. The scholar fled, vanishing into the pines. Tarek skidded to a halt. Who was that? Lyra stared at the shard. A warning. That night, the village elders gathered. Lyra stood before them, the memory well glowing at her side. She showed them the Citadel's armies, the vault's fragile light, the cost of silence. We can't fight, said the elder shepherd. We can hide, argued the wool dyer. Tarek stepped forward, his gaze steady. Or we can remind the Citadel that some things are worth more than power. Hands rose, calloused, scarred, trembling, until the hut echoed with vows. Lyra's wings shuddered. You fight not for glory, but for us, Tarek had said. For the first time, she believed it. The Citadel's war machines clanked up the mountain, their steel jaws tearing through ancient pines. Lyra stood at the vault's archway, the villagers arrayed behind her with tools and torches. Tarek gripped her shoulder, his hand steady. They'll see the light, he said, nodding to the memory well pulsating in the chamber. Lyra's wings, once vibrant red and black, hung dull and frayed. Or they'll crush it. Then we'll plant it anew, said the wool dyer, her voice iron. Dr. Vera emerged from the Citadel's ranks, a shadow of her former self. Her coat hung in tatters, her eyes wild but clear. She clutched the corrupted key shard, now fused to her palm like a scar. You came back, Lyra said. To finish it, Vera rasped. She raised the shard, its necrotic glow staining the snow. Destroy the well, or they'll never stop. The key's AI voice crackled from the relic, frail but resolute. Asterisk, choose guardian, annihilation, or faith. Asterisk. Lyra stepped forward, her wings shedding feathers like autumn leaves. You first, Vera. Choose. The scholar stared at the shard. For a heartbeat, Lyra feared she'd strike, but Vera's arm trembled. Memories flickered across her face. Her father's factories, the well's healing song, the villagers' fearless eyes. With a cry, she plunged the shard into the snow. Enough, Vera whispered. Enough. The key's AI surged, its light engulfing the shard. The corruption peeled away, leaving the relic whole. The chamber trembled as the memory well bloomed, vines spiraling down the mountain, flowers cracking stone. The Citadel's machines stalled, overrun by roots and ivy. Soldiers dropped their weapons, staring as the vault's mosaics regenerated, a tapestry of humanity's resilience. Lyra lifted the restored key. The Eternum hid these relics not out of fear, but hope. Today we honor that hope. She pressed the key to the well. Golden light exploded, holograms of poets, scientists, and farmers swirling into the air. The villagers gasped as melodies wove through them, igniting understanding without words. Tarek laughed, tears in his eyes. "It's alive." "Alive," Lyra agreed. Her wings shuddered. Feathers fell in a cascade, revealing delicate new plumage beneath, translucent and iridescent, like dawn on water. Epilogue. The vault became a pilgrimage. Scholars arrived not to plunder, but to learn. The well's vines bore fruit that imparted memories when eaten. Its flowers sang lullabies in harsh winters. Lyra taught, her new wings shimmering as she guided children through holograms of stars. "Guardianship isn't secrecy," she said. "It's sharing." Vera remained, her citadel tattoos faded. She scribed histories in the vault's stone, her hands steady. "Write everything," Lyra told her, "even the scars." One evening, the elder's hologram appeared to Lyra. "You let the world in," he said. Asterisk, that is the braver thing. Asterisk, she smiled. "We're done hiding. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Take care."